Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the much requested tiny house plan video. I did receive permission from Tumbleweed Tiny House to share my plans. I did purchase them, so I am allowed to distribute them on YouTube if I wish. So I just want to talk a little bit about the exterior. This is the first page of my plans. There have been some modifications, but I'm just going to go through the color choices that I made and the material choices that I made. There are two options that you can get with Tumbleweed Tiny House. You can either get the siding that has the lines that go this way. You've probably seen it on some houses, especially live in the West. Or you can have solid wood siding that goes in lines like this. I chose this because I think it looks a little bit more natural, a little bit more homey, and yeah, I just like the look better. The siding I wanted to look like aged cedar, so I actually asked them to make it a grayish stain. I admit that that turned out mostly black, but it is a gray cedar siding in reality. We chose a metal roof, so it will be a nice silver gray color. And the front door, which is actually around the corner here, and the side door here will be a mesa red. The window frame will be white. The trim of the windows and doors will be white. The trim of the house will be white. And the front railing and post will be white here. We did make a change to this plan. We removed the grids in the windows because while they look really nice from the outside, from the interior, they actually create a very busy space because they add another texture to the space. And it makes it really hard to clean the window panes in between the grids. I really notice when something is proportionately off, and because the bathtub is right here, we had to leave this blank space where a window should be. I asked the builders to add shutters to this window so that it would be more proportionate to the rest of the house. This is the bottom floor of the tiny house. It does have a loft, which I will talk about in a minute. Just for reference, this is the door that I was coloring red in the previous image. This is where the railing and that little fence post was. So you're going to walk through this door into the great room. This is the great room here. And when you want, you can open this door to create airflow. So this is actually a secondary door. Also, in tiny houses, you tend to not be able to fit full-size furniture or full-size appliances or a tub through the front door. Once you have built the house, you are stuck with whatever you chose in the first place and you cannot replace them. So in the effort to make it easier for me to be able to change my furniture in the future, because this tiny house is very sturdily built with all of the strongest materials, so that we can upgrade things in the interior, we did have a door that was 5 inches wider than the normal door that Tumbleweed tiny houses have. This is a more standard size door. This is really too small for any appliance. Okay, so you walk in. This is the great room. We'll put the couch here. And this door we're hoping to change to be opening out so that it won't interfere with the couch. This desk/bench can actually be put in 2 slots. The higher slot makes it a desk and the lower slot makes it a bench, and you can add cushions. So you come through here and you walk into the kitchen. This is where our stove is. Our washer-dryer combo is underneath the counter here. And across from the washer-dryer is the farm sink, so you can wash your stained clothing and put it in the washer-dryer combo. There are storage stairs here for access to the loft. And here there's a drop leaf table, so depending on how we're using the space the most, we can increase our counter space or we can fold it back down. One thing I prioritized in this design were the windows. So I wanted as many windows as possible, so we fit as many as we could, except for where the tub is, which is where that awkward space is. That's why I added shutters here and here. The extra nice thing about this tiny house is while the storage space is small, there are in fact 2 closets. There is one in the bathroom and there is one in the main hall. This rectangle here is my heating and AC. While I love the boat stoves that many tiny houses have, they do actually need a 4-foot radius around them so that nothing lights on fire. And of course, this is where I will be pulling the tiny house from. Alright, so you walk up the storage stairs here to the loft, and this can fit, I believe, a king-sized bed. I chose to have 2 dormer cabinets on each side of the bed, which are like boat cubbies, and they serve as the bedside tables. I also chose to have 4 skylights, which I'm going to need a lot of curtains for if I ever want to sleep in this thing. We also added a lot of lighting. So we added lighting on the bottom of the loft for the kitchen so that it would be nicely lit. And then we also have strip lighting here so that we can light up the walls the way we want. Not only is it important to have windows to have a lot of light in the tiny house and make the space feel bigger, but you also need airflow. So think about how many times you're going to breathe that air over and over again, and also how humid it can get. So we chose to have 2 windows on either side of the loft so that the air can flow through. We also chose to have a ceiling fan over here. We were planning on having our TV here so it can swivel around and be seen from the bed or from down below. What's nice is the ceilings are high here, and then we can have a storage loft here to store boxes of items that we don't use that often. And I forgot my composting toilet. So we don't want to have black water, which means we don't want to have poop in the water that goes out of our home. So we chose to have a composting toilet. We chose Nature's Head because while they're expensive, they control the smell the best of all of the composting toilets, and we haven't heard any complaints about them. I will be sure to cover that in case there are any problems. This is the other side of the house. So that is the bathroom window, and this is a kitchen window over the sink, and this is the great room window. The porch railing and post will be white. The ceiling of the porch will be a nice warm wood, and so will the floor. This window here is an additional window in the loft, so that actually makes 5 windows in the loft. The first designers that I worked with, who were great, did not actually have the capability of making this rendering. When I saw this rendering, I was so excited to be able to see what the space would actually feel like. These are the storage stairs, and each step is a drawer, and they go up to the loft. We did remove this railing here and on the storage loft. This is the stove, the farmhouse sink, and we do have a mirror on the wall there, so if people want to shave, we're going to make it pop out. Again, our stove, our washer dryer combo, our fridge, and then our pocket door to the bathroom. You can see the dormer windows up top in the loft. This beam, while awkward, does have to be there to stabilize the structure when it's under tow. This is a diagram of the electrical. While I know these probably aren't relevant for a lot of you, for those of you that are looking to decrease your costs of your tiny house and get an idea of what it takes to wire a tiny house, I figured I would include this. I will also put it on my blog, lizzyflowers.com, and I will have the full images there. I can't explain this because I don't know anything about it. Even though this image is redundant from the other images, I like the way it shows how the space is divided. So over here is the bathroom, from here to here is the kitchen, and from here to here is the living space. And there is some transition space between the kitchen and the living room where you can fold up a flap here and create more kitchen space, or fold it down and create more living space. Up here is our bedroom, our sleeping space, and then over here is our storage loft. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help.